There's a lot of people who have blown up in their respective platforms, like the Joe Rogan Experience on podcasting,
Man, really appreciate it.
Hey, welcome.
Very good to meet you.
Ninja on Twitch, Joanna Sadia on YouTube,
Hello, fellow human.
Katy Perry on Twitter, and Selena Gomez on Instagram. But which writers actually went viral and, like, no joke, blew up in the writing platform? There's a lot of people, creators, consumers who are saying that, you know, podcasting is the new writing, or writing can't beat video or audio or, you know, a stream. But honestly, a lot of people think that writing is dying, writing is dead, and it's not as big as it used to. But honestly, for me, I think it's the future. Is writing dead? Is writing dying? Personally, for me, I disagree strongly. A lot of stuff that people are demanding right now is in writing, and I'm going to talk about it right now. See what I did there? What up, everyone? Welcome back to my space where I teach you to find your place in the writing space. I create all content for writers. You know, if you're a writer, this place is for you. So the hot topic that I've actually been looking up lately is like how people are saying, you know, blogging is not as good as it used to be, and blogging in 2019 is dying, and it's just not as up to par with the other platforms like streaming, YouTube, and, you know, podcasting. A lot of creators out there are fighting and competing for at least 10 minutes of freaking attention from people. Yes, writing can't just come off a screen and make people hear audio and make people watch a video, but you have to make people see that in their head, make people visualize that in their head. There are only really two things that you need to blow up as a writer, and those two things are what is easily found and created in writing and can freaking dominate any other form of content creation. And I probably know what you're saying. You're probably like, oh my god, like, there's not a lot of writer YouTubers out there, and like, this guy might be my only hope. I actually want crap that's gonna get me freaking results. The first one is having writing content that's easily, and I mean easily, shareable. And once it's shareable, you share it. What the freak? Before you even think about, you know, writing your stuff and making your content and all that, you need to think about, how can my writing be shareable? Because content blows up easily if people talk about it through word of mouth or talk about it in social media, because more people's eyes are being taken to that site. So they're thinking, let me see what this is about. Let me see the controversy, so that they can come in and see. Because it's not about how can I get traffic to my writing, how can I get consistent traffic, people that have retention on my writing, that come over and over and stay and never leave. You're probably thinking, yes, yeah, I would love people to share. I love people to share so that those eyes can be taken to my writing, but how can I make my writing good so people come and stay and are engaged and I form a community? Let's do some story time real quick so that you can really kind of know where I'm coming from and kind of relate to me. We are going to be giving some light to this really big writer that has blown up recently, and her name is Jordan McKell. She is a blogger, writer, but Jordan McKell, yes, she helps writers do basically what I'm doing, and she has a blog, and this is her story. So it says, hey, I'm Jordan. Here's a picture of me awkwardly standing in front of a wall in downtown Dallas and getting a bunch of weird stares because apparently wearing a leopard print coat in 90-degree weather is frowned upon. Keep scrolling down to read my story and learn what Creative Revolt stands for. You're fired. Pack up your office and leave. That's right, I started my business because I got fired from my full-time job. This happened the same day my husband's contract at the same workplace ended. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you're kind of getting a pattern here if you kind of are going with what I'm reading. We heard, you know, to create good content, just give value, be of value, give value, be valuable. You've heard that everywhere, and you probably know what it means. But isn't like anything educational, inspiring, motivational, entertaining, building relationships, isn't that just all based on recreating? You probably got, if you do an article educating someone on something, you've probably researched it from another article, or you've probably read it somewhere, or you probably watched a video on it, listened to a podcast. But what you can't recreate is someone's own story. So when you're writing, think in your head, what kind of stories am I telling? Because no one can recreate your story. No one. You can educate, you can inspire and motivate, give value. Giving value isn't enough anymore, because people will leave your writing easily or skim it. And if people are doing that, you are messing up. You've heard, like, on all places, storytelling is the future. It's all about storytelling. How can you blow up with storytelling? Because it kind of is. Giving value isn't really enough anymore, because how can you make people stay through the start of your content towards the end of your content and stay engaged and be emotionally connected and relate to you and be like, I've been through that too? All of that is what storytelling gives. And writing is the #1 platform to make all of that happen and make it excel. Storytelling is the bread and butter of writing. No other platform can compete with that. No other platform. We're gonna go back in 3rd grade, 4th grade, middle school. You've probably heard about, how to write a narrative. Writing narratives, you start with the introduction, you start with the middle, maybe like a conflict, and then you start with the conclusion, exposition. That's a writing. So if you can put in your writing some sort of story, not just value, because people can get that anywhere. No one can get your story. So tell your story in every blog post. No other form of content can compete with how well writing tells stories. So if you were to write a post online somewhere that tells a story, what would happen? People would read the first sentence, the second sentence, the third sentence, a paragraph, in the whole entire writing. They want to know what happens, what's going to continue. And when people read from start to finish, they're going to share it. They're going to be like, more people need to know this story. More people need to know who this person is, because this story is so engaging. And they're going to engage with other people, talk about you, whether it's social media or word of mouth, and groups upon groups, about thousands, even millions, can read your stuff because of sharing, tagging, talking about it. The real growth happens through sharing, getting your content shared by other people. Whether it's writing about your biggest story of how you failed at something, or someone told you you're never gonna make it, or someone fired you from your job, or just honestly just writing what's been going on, like, what are you doing and what's hot right now, what are you doing, what are you doing lately? People are going to be engaged because they want to know more. They want to know what's going on, and they're going to read from start to finish. Don't be a textbook. Be an open book with a little value squeezed in there. Another amazing thing about writing content is it can reach thousands of people, and you don't really need to do much to get it out there. All you need to do is just write. Writing is a really good thing where you can get a really nice idea out there very quickly and very concisely at the same time. You don't need to look good in front of the camera, or you need to sound right. You don't need to be sick, or you don't need to have a setup. There's no back-end logistical work to writing. You just write and you post it. You write, you edit, you revise, and you post it. That is it. So you can be very consistent easily. Okay, another big writer right now, he helps streamers. Twitch is really big lately. There's some big people that are helping streamers like Ashley Christ, Gaming Careers, but Mark Longhurst is putting it in a writing format, which makes me so happy. And I've actually got to know him. I've got to know him. I networked with him, and I've watched his streams, and we've become fast friends. He even made me a mod in his Discord. But I read his stuff, I read his content, and he gave a lot of value, a lot. He gave value on how to be a good streamer, how to blow up, and how to just kill it. But I wanted to know more about him. I wanted to know, what's his story? What got him here? Like, what is he all about? I told him this philosophy about the power of storytelling, how powerful storytelling is, and how it's the future, and how writing can easily take storytelling to another level compared to any form of content creation, period. And he said, you're right. Like what you're saying here is really right. I watched a stream and we were talking about this, and he said he DM'd me and said I did my first blog post for streamers and I was a little more vulnerable when storytelling. Yeah, storytelling, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable as a writer. But he said, you know, I talked about my story a little bit. I was vulnerable. I didn't just give value, but I told a story. And he already has like at least 120k reads, views on his Medium. But I'm telling you, in the future, if he includes more storytelling in all of his blogs, he's going to blow up. I'm telling you, he's going to blow up because he's giving value and he's sharing his life, and no content can share a life better than a writing, but they can probably give value more, but writing does both. So I know he's gonna blow up very freaking soon. Sorry putting you on the spot, but you're gonna blow up if you keep sharing more stories. You got it. I remember he told me that his content started out as sharing stories of people, how they got to where they are, and seeking the emerging heroes of the future, because that's what his whole brand is called, the emergence. And I'm like, I'm glad that he started it out like that, but maybe he can come back and bring storytelling to his streaming helping creation. Because it's not about making amazing writing content, it's about making sucky writing content, and then you learn from it, and each learning you make, you implement. It's not about you blow up in one day. You implement each thing you research, each thing you learn, you implement, and you test, you study, you see what people want and you see what people don't want, and you just keep testing and testing and testing. Whatever works, you use it over and over. And I know you're probably not going to take my advice, because it's like, it's frustrating, it's disturbing that you don't grow, but you have to be willing to get vulnerable until you're past and get beyond just giving value. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was really scared to post this video because I was scared what people would think of me. I was scared of, you know, am I gonna get caught in the crossfire? Because people have been saying blogging is dying and blogging isn't the future, but I put a lot of pressure on myself to be the best, and I always want to make things perfect. But if you truly want to be a full-time writer, it's yourself. It's not how good your writing is. It's not how polished it looks. It's yourself. Because I can have the amazing content, amazing branding, everything, but how can I keep up with that if me, myself, is not at my peak? So love yourself, love who you are, take care of yourself, and know what you can take. Because if you love yourself, you're not going to give a freak what anyone else thinks, and you're going to write and over and over and over tell your stories, give value, because who you are is bigger than you thought you were. There are actually, my secret, there's way more ways to share your writing. It's not just storytelling, there's actually way more. And why don't you, if you want to know more, join our Discord. I don't ask for much. All I ask is, I just want you guys to succeed and crush it as writers, and transcend and freaking prove those other content creators that writing is going to take over very, very soon. It's going to take over. I know it in my heart. In my heart, boom, 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 boom. I freaking feel it. It's going to take over. And I want you guys to know how to get your writing to share and go viral. So join our Discord. I'm gonna tell you on the spot how to blow up. On the spot, how to get your writing to be more shareable. And yeah, if you wanna know, just join our Discord, and yes, hope to see you there. So I hope you join, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to find your place in the writing space and go out there and crush it, okay? I love you. Bye.